Hi everyone. Welcome back from Thanksgiving, your Thanksgiving break. I hope you had a chance to have a break and get some rest. I didn't do much this Thanksgiving break. I just kind of rested and kind of floated around and did things that I don't normally get to do. So it was really nice. I noticed I had a yard again. I noticed I had stuff in the house that went, wow, how did this get here? I'm sure yours was the same. Um, Anyways, I wanted to talk about the next assignment that's coming up that's actually due on Sunday. There's a couple parts to this assignment. One part that's a little bit tricky, and I think I mentioned this at one of our very first classes, is you're supposed to be taking an assessment. You do a little survey. Don't submit the survey until you print it. Print out your results or print out the survey itself and then take the survey yourself. So it's a personal thing. Once you submit, you don't get it anymore. It's gone. And what we used to get, and the reason I think this is still on our assignments, is because we used to get this beautiful printout, a PDF, and they'd provide it for us, and you could have it, and then you'd submit it. So that's no longer available to us. So what I want you to do is you need to take the survey for this assignment, and then based on the survey results, you're going to give an assessment of your space where you're at in your school right now or your district. So I hope that makes sense. So basically, you can submit the survey. That's fine. Go ahead and submit the survey, but not until you print it. Okay, so you make sure you print and you have a copy of that survey. If nothing else, it's a survey that could help you with your tech plan. It's a survey that could help you have conversations when you're thinking of purchasing things, that you know the direction you're going in, or why you're going in that direction. So it's a really valuable survey for your personal use in your school. So that's one part of the assignment. So you get that information, determine where you're at with your school, and then give me a write-up of that. The next part is you're going to be looking in the P21 website, and you're going to be picking, I believe it was 3 schools, or let me check right now. It's, I'll see. Okay, so you're going to be you're going to be looking at 3 exemplar schools. So you pick 3 separate schools from that website, the P21 website, and then you're going to, from each of these schools, you're going to identify 2 best practices from each of the 4 areas I'm going to mention. Standards and assessment, that's one. Curriculum and instruction, that's another. Professional development, that's another. And learning environment, that's another. So for each school, for each case study, which is each school, you're going to go into those 4 areas and identify 2 best practices for each of those areas. So you're going to be making like a form. You're going to be doing a grid, like a table. It's most usually turned in as a table. So you put the schools on one side, you put the best practices on the top, and then in there you fill in the two best practices for each of those related areas: standards and assessment, curriculum instruction, professional development, and learning environments. So it sounds complicated, but it really should not be complicated. You're going to look at 4 schools. I'm sorry, 3 schools. So maybe it's complicated the way I'm saying it. But anyways, you're going to be looking at three schools or 3 case studies right on that website. For each of those, have your grid, make a grid prior to this. And in there, you're going to be looking for things. What's best practices in the area of standards and assessment? List two best practices. Okay, now you're going to go to curriculum instruction. Write down 2 best practices in the curriculum instruction for that particular school. Then you're going to go to professional development. Look for 2 best practices in professional development. And then learning environments, 2 best practices. Then go to your next school. Do the same thing for your next school. Your next school is ABC school. You're going to look at, same thing. Go through each one of these, and you're going to analyze your school based on those best practices. And stick to the same areas, the same 4 areas, and you're going to be listing those best practices. Okay, so it's a grid. You're going to turn in, it's a table. You're going to be turning in a table. The form, again, going back to the survey thing, you can't print that survey out. I mean, you can't take that survey and get a printout, so you have to print that out beforehand. I think that's all on that assignment. It sounds more complicated than it is, but don't make it more than it is. It's not. They're just trying, the purpose of this assignment is to have you start looking at what is considered 21st century learning, what is considered best practices or next practices that we should be looking at when we're analyzing our own school systems. Okay, I hope that helps a little bit, and it's great to be back, and a couple of you contacted me about this project, so I want to just set your mind at ease. I hope that helped. All right, contact me if you need more information. I'll be happy to go over it with you or give you some more information. All right, take care.